Hello folks, you're on the Desert Adventures YouTube channel. This video is sponsored by Apogee Performance Racing. Whether you ride single track, moto, or desert, this chain lube will keep your chain running clean and smooth throughout the entire ride. Even up to over 100-mile rides, it'll keep you running good. Today, we're going to take the big XR600R out for a sand wash trip, do some high-speed desert ride. This is a super fun sand wash that I like to ride on occasion. It's got some good sand, almost like sand dune sand. If you look to the right of the bike here, you can see it's got some nice, almost glamis or imperial sand dune type sand with a little bit of rocks here and there. But yeah, just a fun sand wash to go cruise around in, especially on this big XR600. This thing's got so much power and torque for the sand that it just scoots right along on top. You know, on the little 150 or even 252 strokes that I've owned before, you kind of feel like you're beating on them after a while on the sand. But the big XR just keeps chugging. That's what Honda made them for, is hauling ass across the desert. And speaking of hauling ass across the desert, do we have any desert riders or dune riders out there? If so, what are you riding? Where are you riding at? Comment down below. Tell us what type of ride you're on and where you like to go desert riding and what dunes you like to go rip it up in. You like to run paddles or scoops? Let us know. Me personally, I've only ridden in the dunes maybe less than 10 times or so, and with a paddle only a handful of times. All my dune riding's been on 252 strokes. So to get this big 600 out in the sand is quite nice. I'd love to get this thing out in the sand with a paddle on it. Right now it's doing pretty damn well with Tusk Dual Sport Adventure tires on the damn thing. Although I did start running way lower tire pressures than most people are on those tires. I'm running 4.5 pounds in the rear and 9 pounds up front to try and get some better traction out of those things. Those are some stiff tires. But one great thing about them being stiff is it's, even at super low pressure, hard to get a pinch flat, hard to get punctures, and they also last a long time. So far I've probably got 400 miles on them at least, and they're barely showing any signs of wear. And that's even spinning the tires and the rocks and sand and doing your normal desert ride that's usually pretty damn hard on tires. When you're coming into some of these rocky sections like this and you're spinning the tire in the sand and then it hits rocks, that'll usually chunk up most knobbies. But these that's why I decided to run the adventure tires for all my adventures out here in the desert, because they figured they'd just put down a lot more miles. And maybe if I can get them to perform decently, then I'll run these during the races. I know they're not nearly as good as some other true moto tires or enduro gummies, but yeah, we're just out here for fun and to show what you can do on an old bike. So yeah, we'll do it on some good adventure tires and see how well we can get away with it. This section of the wash starts getting narrower and narrower, and eventually it just leads you into a tumbleweed pile. So we're going to climb out right here. Up, up, up. Do a little cruising on top for a sec. And through the rocks and back into the sand wash. Back to the sand cruise. And we'll bypass this section of wash. Boink. Go up through the bushes a little bit. Drop back into the wash. By now you may have noticed that I'm rocking a chest mount for my camera right now, which works pretty good, except when I'm sitting down, that number plate gets in the way a little bit. My helmet mount broke the other day, so until I get another camera mount for the helmet, we're going to be rocking the chest mount like this, which I think shows better bike movement, but sometimes it does block where you're going because the number plate getting in the way. I don't know, I feel like the chest mount's better for showing what the bike's doing, and the helmet mount's better for showing scenery and adventures and everywhere I'm looking. Eventually I'll get another GoPro and maybe I'll start rocking a camera on each and switch back and forth. You know, pretend I'm a professional YouTuber with multiple camera angles. Go all out with it. Yeah, this is a super fun section of the wash here. I like how it starts getting to haul ass in between all the desert willows and mesquite bushes. Just gives you almost like desert single track through the wash. It's kind of cool. Here's some of that sand dune sand I was talking about. It's just fun to go play around on. Little dunes, they're not big, but still some good sand. Yeah, it's just a neat section. You can take a different line each time and, you know, find different little dunes and mountains to jump, different lines between the bushes and trees. Yeah, pretty fun section. I dig it. Get tight between the trees some more? Hell yeah. Gotta love some branches brushing on your sides. Although out here in the desert you gotta watch out, because every now and then it's a cholla cactus, you know, with a bunch of thorns in your side. And here's another section where you really just can open her up in 5th gear and let her run for a bit until the trees are closed back up and get back into some rocky sections. I actually kind of prefer where it closes off and gets a little more choked down like this. A little more tighter. Sometimes it's nice to actually have to ride the bike instead of just cruising in 5th gear. It is wonderful that this bike does it so well, but it almost puts it in easy mode. It's like cruising on a couch. You know, a lot of open desert cruising makes you appreciate the tighter trails and double track and single track a lot better. Speaking of single track, looking forward to here in about 3 weeks we're going to race this big XR600 at the Kelly Canyon Enduro. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll see how well the big bike does up in the trees. I'm going to have to actually drop a couple main jet sizes as well, because we're going to be racing up between 7,000 and 8,000 feet elevation for that race. So we'll have to do a little tuning, make sure the bike's not sputtering. And something else that's happening in the month of October is Apogee Performance Racing is going to be holding a sale, a fall harvest sale. So between now and October is a great time to go check them out at apogeeperformanceracing.com. Even if you've never been there, go check them out. If you want to get a deal on your first bottle of chain lube, October watched my other videos in the past, you'll notice that I usually leave at least a minute or two, sometimes a little longer at the end of the video, of just raw riding footage. So, I'm going to shut my trap and let you guys enjoy some raw riding footage. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you checking out the Desert Adventures YouTube channel and checking out ApogeePerformanceRacing.com. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the ride.